he's got supporters. Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, inciting large-scale arrests and sympathy marches.
I'm very aware of that, Mr. Hoover. What I do know is he's nonviolent. What I need to know right now, what's Martin Luther King about to do next?
Mr. President, Dr. King is here.
What a journey it's been, right?
Okay.
Jamal, you want to straighten out for me, please?
Jamal Finkley, Black Tree TV.
Anytime you're ready.
Oh, Jamal.
This is a proud moment for me, you know, just to sit here across from you guys, and after seeing this movie last night, and I gotta tell you, the movie moved us so much that a bunch of us journalists got together, and it's like we decided on how we was gonna fight our treatment by the studios and everything. It was like it inspired us to do the demonstrate and everything else. So
Good. You
so
guys
the
are
movie,
gonna protest?
We're gonna protest.
You should.
Yes.
You should.
Yes.
Excellent. Let me know how I can help.
Yes. So
Yes.
first, I mean, why Selma? Martin Luther King's had so many chapters of his life, his story that meant so much, even posthumously. Why was Selma like the focal point for this story for you?
I think the thing that attracted us to this story is that you could talk about the life of King without having to go cradle to the grave, because it's too much. His life was episodic. You had his early life when he met, the son of a preacher, the grandson of a preacher, right? His life in Boston, his life in Montgomery with the bus boycotts, the I Have a Dream, the March on Washington. All of those, they're all movies. So once you said we're not going to go cradle to the grave, we're going to go a slice of life, then that decision leads you to which life, which part of it. And Selma is just so robust. I mean, that time was a time when he was hitting on all cylinders, strategically, or as an orator, as an organizer, but it's also some of the lowest moments he had personally. So it's fascinating. 3 months.
Yeah. And you embodying that character. I mean, it's a lot that you had to pull off, but I imagine from reading these speeches and just trying to embody the character, like spiritually, it had to like feel a certain way to you. I would imagine. Like how was taking on the character of Dr. King?
Well, what you say there is key, you know, there's the spiritual connection to it, because if you see Dr. King giving those speeches, you know that he is operating in something other, you know, and the reason you really see that is when you then see him not in the pulpit, not, you know, in that higher state that he's in when he's giving some of those speeches. And so that was a lot of the work I had to do, is to position myself where that was even possible. It was kind of a gamble because you never know, but what I never wanted it to feel like is just a technically proficient performance. It's like, how do you even come close to how transcendental he was in the pulpit with those speeches, and how do you then show the man behind those speeches when he's with his wife, when he's with his brothers, when he's, you know, suffering under the weight of the guilt and the expectation that this campaign placed upon him. So that was the duality that we had to find, really, and thankfully I had a great captain to get me there.
And a great actor. I mean, just sitting here with them, the way he looks, the way he speaks, right?
Yeah.
That ain't King. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that is a performance of really epic proportions. He transformed himself. It's nuts. Even I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm like, my boy's wicked smart. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm like, ugh, that sounds good, David. So yeah.
I think, and Common said this, that he wanted to play a superhero before, but now you feel like he played a superhero without having a superhero costume.
That's wonderful.
I think we all know that how brave Dr. King was, and all those people, John Lewis, everybody. But I think to see that he wasn't always 100% confident, I think was a nuance. I mean, what was some of the nuances you learned about King just from taking on this campaign?
Yeah, I mean, that guilt and that the fact that he felt very guilty during this time. This is the only time in all of his campaigns where people died, and actually 3 people died. And it's under his watch, so to speak, you know. And of course, it's the fault of the racists who did it. But ultimately, it was because they were waging a campaign that he was heading. And so that guilt, that pressure, which David, inserts beautifully into the performance. But then also just the little things like, look, at some point in the film, you just see a black man and a black woman having a hard time at home, right? brother has to take out the trash. He has to answer some hard questions. You know what I mean? You know, just that. You think of King and Coretta, you think of Mrs. King, you know, and you think of him, and you don't think about the marriage. That's what I wanted to get into. It's like the marriage, black love, and what that is under pressure. And so that was really important to me to get into the script, into the film. And you know, David can do anything, so you can throw anything at him. And you know, literally that performance, you know, you're giving speeches, you know, at the state capitol, and then you know you're in the kitchen with your wife, and to be able to do those at such a high level, fantastic.
Bravo to you both, and you know, I'm just proud.
What about Blacktree, though? Can we talk about how much I love Blacktree? Can we talk about Blacktree TV and how long that I've known you?
Man.
Since you were first starting Blacktree, and we were getting you on junkets, and you could barely get a slot, and I'm convincing people, but it's real, this Blacktree, and his YouTubes, what is the stat? The highest
over
rated?
$500 million. That's
$500 million on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, he's truly the most powerful, I would say the most widely seen broadcast outlet for dedicated to black entertainment. Film, black film. I mean, am I right? And
You're
this
right.
guy who's continued just with a real integrity about it. Anyway, I'm proud of you. I can't believe we're sitting here. I can't believe we're sitting
It's
here.
a great moment. Thank you.
You're watching Blacktree on TV, only on Soul of the South.